Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Guys, I don't say this all the time, but the video that I've got for you guys tonight is delicious. What we're going to talk about is something that is actually a positive wrapped around a negative tragedy almost averted, and then crime, and then hypocrisy. This is, like I said, delicious with a garnish of irony. Let's dive in. Everything is linked in the description box below, and I want to hear from you guys on this one. This one needs to be spread far and wide to everyone you know because this has everything. This is like a delicious Thanksgiving dinner. Here we go. Let's dive in. So, I'm sure you guys have heard, you may not have heard, but there was a state senator in Illinois that was actually carjacked at gunpoint. Now, I don't wish ill on anybody. That's terrible. That's horrible. Luckily, and thank God, she and her husband were fine. They haven't found the criminals yet. Hope they do. Hope they go to jail. Probably won't, but I hope they do. But here's the important thing. I'm going to walk you through a few of the things. I'm going to show you the story, and then I'm going to show you what I found. I followed my gut. And that is incredibly important to do in this fight that we have to pass on the blessings of the Second Amendment. But let's dive in. Again, everything is linked in the description box below. This is completely verifiable. All right, so gunfire erupts during carjacking of Illinois State Senator's Mercedes SUV, cops say. Okay, like I said, I don't wish ill will on anyone. I'm glad they're all okay. This is from Broadview, Illinois. So this is near Chicago. An Illinois congresswoman is speaking out about the terrifying moment when she and her husband were carjacked. State Senator Kimberly Lightford and her husband were driving in Broadview on Tuesday night when they were carjacked by 3 armed men, which has got to be terrifying, right? That's personally the reason that we believe in Second Amendment rights. We can defend ourselves from just this type of thing that you would never think will happen to you. Listen to what happened. This is a quote. The guys rolled up on us so quickly and they had a getaway driver. It was like I was in a scene from a movie and I was being victimized. And I just wanted my life. I wanted my husband in that moment. So nothing else really mattered, Lightford said. Like I said, I got complete sympathy and I can imagine being very similarly scared. She says her husband has a concealed carry permit and shot back at the carjackers. She says this incident just emphasizes her perspective to protect the community. So this is the state leader. This is the majority leader in Chicago. Well, Chicago is obviously a Democrat-run machine, so I had a little inkling something was wrong. I wanted to look into this a little bit. Would you happen to look what I found from a simple Google search? Again, all my results are linked in the description box about this state senator. Well, it turns out this state senator is a part of an organization called GPAC, Gun Violence Prevention PAC. These colors and theming are going to look pretty familiar for you. If they haven't yet, look at what is on the homepage. Senate Majority Leader Kimberly Lightford is proud to be a gun safety candidate. There's the GPAC logo, and look what's right to the right of it. Giffords PAC. Completely affiliated with Giffords.org, one of the major premier gun control groups in the United States. Again, this is ironic because while she's a member of Giffords.org PACs and taking money from them and being influenced by them against gun control or for gun control in Illinois, her husband is carrying a concealed weapon the entire time, and so much so that he's actually carrying it and deploys it. Seen any kind of irony yet? It gets better. So what's the GPAC? Well, it's got people in here like Kim Foxx. You guys can look up Kim Foxx herself. You can do it yourselves all you want. Kim Foxx is the state attorney, a little radical, just a smidge. You guys can look up all of that. I'm not getting into that. That's not the point of the video, but that kind of gives you an idea of who we're talking about here. Here's their mission statement. Our mission, a campaign to save lives. Again, tell me if this sounds familiar. The Gun Violence Prevention Political Action Committee was founded to counter the political influence of the gun industry and their lobby in Springfield. GPAC raises the resources necessary to protect and elect public officials with the courage to stand up to the gun lobby. Gun lobby. That sounds very familiar. But let's dive in a little deeper. Who we are, GPAC. It's a nonpartisan political action committee. Every year in Illinois, an average of 1,000 people are killed by gun violence and countless others are seriously injured, most are children. The devastation imposed by this epidemic on our communities and families is unimaginable. Sounding familiar? It is the price that we are forced to pay for a culture of gun violence. Sound familiar? That has been allowed to flourish without accountability for far too long. Polls show that a majority of gun owners and non-gun owners favor alike sensible gun safety measures to save lives. Sounding like ironically familiar? GPAC provides campaign support to legislators committed to keeping guns out of the hands of criminals, gang members, domestic abusers, and the dangerously mentally ill. Well, okay, that's Giffords.org. That's far left gun control. We know that. That's a written book that's open and shut. But it turns out they have a scorecard, and would you believe who's actually on this scorecard? Check this out. Senator Kimberly Lightford, District 4, Party Democrat, A+ rating with Giffords.org. Okay, again, all the while her husband is carrying a concealed weapon on his person and fires back to defend themselves, which again, I'm totally fine with, but it is a little hypocritical. Here's one bill, HB 562, block illegal ownership and fix the FOID. Requires universal background checks on all gun sales, closes loopholes that allow people with revoked FOID cards to remain armed, and invests money in mental health services for the communities most impacted by gun violence. We covered this about 6 months ago when it passed. HB 1092 strengthened the firearm restraining order. That's a red flag law. Expands the firearm restraining order to cover former spouses and co-parents of children. Instructs Illinois Department of Health to run an educational campaign about this law. Now, those are both gun control bills that we covered that passed in Illinois. But look at what her voting record is on these same things. There she's again, Senator Kimberly Lightford. She got an A+ rating because she voted yes on all 4. Now, the reason that I bring this up and I walk through this basic search is not because she doesn't have the right or her husband doesn't have the right to actually endorse his own safety with a firearm with the Second Amendment, because everyone does. However, while her husband is carrying a concealed weapon and uses it to defend himself and his wife and their property, she's passing these kind of bills against everyone else. I'm glad she's okay. I'm glad no one was hurt. But the main point here is the hypocrisy and the irony is staggering. And that's what I've got for you guys tonight. So now you know a little bit more backstory on what's going on with this state senator who was carjacked at gunpoint. Ironically, by the same things that she's been voting against, and it didn't work. That's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think on the next one. I'm Braden, signing out.